Hello guys, it's me Ria, #1 golf dating advisor, and I'm back on YouTube. Yes, I have decided that having a platform where I can talk for more than 1 minute that I usually do on Instagram. By the way, I have an amazing Instagram account with a lot of pieces of content on dating and relationships, so check it out in the link below this video. So I have decided that having a platform that allows me to download videos for more, yes, than just 60 seconds, can be an opportunity for a lot of men to learn more life-changing techniques and concepts on dating and relationship. So I have chosen the following question for our first video: how to make a lady fall for you. I'm pretty sure this is one of the most concerning topics a man can have in dating, especially when he tries so hard and nothing works out. For example, he tries to be as romantic as he can. He tries to surprise this lady with, some gifts, some dates. He tries to be really supportive. He tries to be there for her. But in the long run, she still doesn't decide to be with him. So, a lot of men then have a question: what am I doing wrong? Let's talk about this right now. Again, guys, it's me, Ria, #1 golf dating advisor. Check my social media in the links below. Let's go. Now, gentlemen, take your seat and be ready to listen to me. So, how to make a lady fall for you? I want you to answer this question, but I also want you to think of what kind of idea, concept, plan, or strategy you have behind this. In order to save our precious time, I will give you examples of what I usually hear from my clients in private sessions. So my client would usually say that he would try to be romantic and caring. He would try to be a man that makes a lady feel special, wanted, appreciated. He would take her on amazing ordinary dates and some special surprise dates. He would, take her out. He would cook for her, take her shopping, try to do, some sort of things that would make her feel that she is really wanted in his life, and everything in this line. Well, it does sound good, but it will work in around 30% of chances if we, for example, take 100% of women that already like this man. Now, let's imagine a real life situation where you don't usually get, all women that like you, yes? Now, where do I get these numbers? And how do I come to this conclusion? Let's talk about this more detailed. Remember that right after asking you how to make a lady fall for you, I gave you another question, which is, what kind of idea or concept you have behind your answer? In other words, what kind of idea helps you to formulate this answer? This is the idea of what it feels like, usually, to have a partner. But where do you get this idea from? Well, let's say from what society, yes, usually gives us as an idea of love, or what we see in movies, or any other, let's say well-spread idea about what it feels like to be in a relationship. A lot of men think that once they adopt this strategy into their actions, a lady will fall for them because, they are doing everything that this idea tells them. They try to be romantic, they try to do amazing dates, they try to be there for her, they try to be so good, so nice. But gentlemen, answer me, in how many cases this really did work for you? See, in not as many as you wanted. Why? Right now, things start to get more interesting. I am expanding your mindset about dating right now, and you will have to adopt a new concept into what you already know. So this is the concept of attachment. Now, I guess a lot of you have even more questions. What is attachment? What kind of attachment styles are out there? How to make it into real life and practice, and everything in this line. Let's go step by step. Okay, attachment, as we have understood, is a mechanism that attaches us to other people. But how do we understand to which people we attach and to which one we don't attach? All of us were modeled some sort of attachment. Okay, if attachment is modeled to us, who can model it? Let's think over. Who was the first one that was our first close connection? Our mother. Yes, for sure, other primary caregivers, other people can influence attachment style. But the number one person to take into focus when we talk about attachment is our mother. Think over this. Once you are a baby, just a toddler, yes, you don't even talk and you don't understand what other people say to you. How can you understand the concept of love? I mean, in terms of how can you read or how can you be described what love is? You don't know the first words, let alone some complicated word combinations, and let alone understanding of, different sort of relationship like family relationship, friendship, romantic ones, etc. But even without understanding, I mean, in terms of words and concepts, you already become a part of society. And usually your first small society is your family. Can you imagine you enter a relationship once you are born? You don't even, speak some sort of language or anything like this, but you already become a part of interactions. And this is where you learn how attachments between different people work. But what you take into account is for sure your interactions with other people, and especially your interaction with your mother, because your mother is like a whole world for you, yes, because she feeds you, she cleans you, she takes care of you, and you literally cannot do anything, to make yourself feel safe and taken care of without your mommy. Our attachment is modeled to us by our relationship with the mother. But right now we have to take into account two more things. Number one, a mother is a human being, and sometimes a mother does mistakes. Not every mother, but sometimes it happens. And the second thing is that a baby doesn't have developed critical thinking. It means that a baby doesn't usually seem to be capable of doing even easy logical lines between events, yes, and stay differentiated, which is like having your emotions on one hand and having an ability to analyze, to even do some, small analytical pieces of work on the other hand. So both of these factors combined sometimes can lead to an attachment trauma. And here I should make a disclaimer. When I say trauma, a lot of people may think of, the worst scenarios where a child is, heavily abused or something like this. Well, for sure, yes, these kind of situations give higher risks for a baby to be traumatized. But it can be even minor, but for example, constantly repeated traumatic experiences for a child to develop an attachment trauma. Usually this trauma is felt like some sort of rejection. So we understand, yes, that trauma hurts. And when a baby goes through some sort of rejection, some sort of trauma, a baby's mind wants to find some sort of solution. And usually, a mind chooses one of the following ways to cope with trauma. The first type of reaction to trauma looks pretty like this. I'm in pain. I feel hurt. I cannot stand this rejection. And I don't want to go through anything like this in my life anymore. You know what? I prefer to stay emotionally independent from everyone, because can you imagine what other people can do to me if my mommy is able to let me go through something like this? It's scary to think of. So I prefer to stay on distance with other people that try to enter into close relationship with me, and even if they do, I will try to make some space in between us. This is what is called avoidant attachment style. We call them people of avoidant attachment style. Sometimes, people call them not just avoidant, but also cold and distant. And I want to say, yes, that this is not like, for example, a decision that baby, claims, or says out loud, or, has a thinking process like that. No. But it happens with a baby not even fully realizing that he or she has decided to live like this. And the second type of reaction looks pretty like this. I'm in pain. I feel hurt. I need to find some solution to this pain and to this hurt. What if I try to be more vocal about this pain? What if I try to be a little bit more vocal about the fact that I don't like the situation? What if I try to be vocal and get more attention, and maybe when people will, get more signs that I'm in pain, maybe they will stop hurting me. Maybe they will understand me. This is how usually is formed preoccupied attachment style. Preoccupied attachment style people are usually also called needy, clingy, and anxious. For sure, there are also people of normal attachment style, and they didn't go through some sort of traumatic experiences, or even if they did, then they later either had some sort of experiences that healed their trauma, or they went into therapy and healed their trauma with a specialist. And I should also say that, in many cases, a person doesn't, for example, 100% belong to this type or that type, but usually we have some sort of spectrum, and we're, for example, closer to this attachment style or to that attachment style. It depends from a person to a person. Now, let's get back to our question. Based on all of this new information that you have just learned, how to make a lady fall for you based on attachment styles. And by the way, attachment styles theory is a very interesting thing actually to discover, and it gives different and more detailed look on attachment styles. Yes, I have given you 3 most common attachment styles that I have seen in my practice. So anyway, as you have understood, yes, that once you learn a lady's attachment code, yes, this is where you can make her fall for you. And once we have just covered 2 attachment styles, avoidant and preoccupied, you have learned that both of them are formed as a response to a trauma. Again, responding to a trauma doesn't usually mean healing a trauma. So people of avoidant and people who are close to avoidant attachment style and people of preoccupied type and people who are close to preoccupied type have been traumatized to some extent. And another thing to keep in mind, a trauma doesn't want to leave a person. Trauma wants to stay inside of this person and to show as many scenarios as it can find to prove its existence into a person. Now, as you can see, trauma plays a big role in the attachment mechanisms of many people out there. Yes, to a different extent, but statistically, there are a lot of people who are closer and who are in a group of preoccupied attachment style, and statistically, there are a lot of people who are prone to be in a group and are in a group of avoidance. These people got their attachment style formed as a response to a trauma, and trauma takes really firm grounds in their attachment mechanism. So if you want to attach someone to you, you cannot take the only part that you like and ignore other parts of attachment mechanism. No, in order to attach someone to you, you need to cover all parts of this mechanism. Disclaimer, I'm not saying and I'm not encouraging for trauma in a relationship. This is not healthy. Whatever I do with my clients or anything like this, we do healthy, I wouldn't say healthy, we do non-harming sort of responding to this mechanism. Maybe I will go detailed later, yes, but I wanted to understand that I'm not belonging to a group of, coaches or whatever who say that, you have to be a bad guy, you have to be a playboy or something like this, in order to attach a lady. No, I'm not in this group of people, yes. I always say we use non-harming ways to attach a person if she has, since I work with men, yes, if their lady partner has an attachment style that is based on some sort of trauma, we use non-harming ways to respond to this mechanism, okay? So guys, this is why I said, once you start to be that much romantic and start to be that much caring and nice guy, there will be 30% of chance that you meet someone from a normal attachment style, and there is super high chance that you meet someone of avoidant or preoccupied attachment styles. And these people will not, be turned on by this sort of courtship. Yes, they like this, but they also need some correspondence, some treatment, not even treatment, they need some actions that will highlight the rejection that is a part of their attachment mechanism. So I know that it's been maybe a hard video for you to process. Yes, maybe you have some questions. If you have, leave it in the comment section below. For sure, give me your feedback here, or if you want, DM me in my Instagram. If you would love to become my client on personal program, for sure, I'm waiting for you as well. Thank you guys. It was Miria, #1 Gulf Dating Advisor. See you soon.